Good evening and welcome to day 2 of our 5 days series on the lovable wife. How do you become the wife your man would always turn to? Now, today we are going to be covering this topic, which is called what expectations to build from your marriage and how to have those expectations met. Okay. Now, um, this is also a part of what we did yesterday, which is about how to see that change in husband or how to bring about that change in husband. So let's see how that connects with expectations. Okay. Now, before I enroll women in my coaching program, I normally speak to them for about 1.5 hours. And in that conversation, when I ask this question, what is it that you want? You'll be very surprised that 99% of the women do not know what is it that they want from their married life. So when the conversation starts, very naturally, it starts on they talking about their problems, okay? The issues that they are facing, the struggles that they've been having. They're talking about all those incidents of hurt, disrespect, and they just keep on going, talking about that. Once their part of this talk is over, some of them end up crying. Some of them are not crying, but they are extremely sad. Some of them are looking for solutions. Some of them are very hopeful. Some of them are very hopeless. Okay. So, towards the end of their talk, when I ask them, all right, so what is the kind of married life you want to live? The answer is, I want to live a happy married life. Some people say, I want to live a life of, just like normal husband and wife. Okay. Going further down, if I say, what do you mean by normal husband wife relationship or normal husband wife kind of a life? What do you mean by happy married life? That is the time there is absolute silence, there is no answer. Those who were crying, their crying stops. Those who were complaining constantly, they were sad, there is sudden silence and they go into a kind of shock. Shock as in not in negative sense, but in positive sense, where they get hit by this question, what am I looking for in my married life? That's the aha moment for them because they realize that all through this while they have been focusing on the problems. They have been focusing on what's not working in their married life. But have you ever given thought to what is it that you want? What do you want from your husband? What do you want from your relationship in your married life? Just saying that I want happy married life. I want a married life like, happy couples live. What does happy couples live? What does this mean to you? What does happiness in your married life mean to you? Have you ever gone into depth? So when you don't even know what is it that you're looking for, how are you going to get it? Okay. So I say that I want to buy a car, but which car do I want to buy? If I don't know which car do I want to buy, can I have a car? I can get, say, one model and I can think, no, I didn't think I wanted to have this car. Then I get the second one. No, I don't think I wanted to have this one also. So what do you want? Okay. So that's about expectations in your married life. All right. Now, if you go into the expectations can be okay. You want to know how much your husband earns. Valid point. You want to know how much money is he saving. How much money is he saving for children? How much money is he giving to his mother? That's a very, very, deep question which all women want to know. What are his future plans? If he's into business, what does he think about growing his business? What are the thoughts he has around growing his business? If he has a job, does he ever think of changing a job? What are the kind of colleagues he has? What are the kind of bosses he has? You want every aspect of his life that he should be discussing with you. You want that, he should always open up himself, as far as you are concerned. This is what you think are expectations. But beyond these expectations, behind these expectations, what is it that you're looking for? If you say that I want him to share his financial plans, what is it that you're looking for? If you say that I want him to open up, what is it that you're looking for and why? When you know what you're looking for and why you're looking for, then you have the right to expect and convey your expectations to your husband. Okay, so I'm going to be telling you what are these expectations that you could be having, you should be having, so that your married life becomes a very, very happy and a harmonious life, something that you're looking for. Now, uh, this is what I'm going to be telling you are certain things that you can look for, you can build your expectations around. These things I am telling you, but this is not in sequence, this is not in order. Okay. Sorry. This is, I'm giving you a plethora of expectations and I'll explain it to you. Sequencing is something that you need to do. Okay. Now, for instance, first one is open communication. Define what open communication means to you. So, for instance, I have defined open communication as deep heart to heart talks. That means that you can freely discuss anything and everything with him, knowing that he will understand. That's open communication. You don't have any fear of being judged. You do not have any fear of being ridiculed, made fun of. So, which means that you can discuss anything you want to. That is open communication. That is expectation. Okay. Another thing could be trust. Primary, there are 5 things. So, second thing could be trust. Trust means what? Trust means that you trust his thoughts, you trust his actions, you trust him as a human being, you trust him as your husband, you also trust him as your mother-in-law's son, you trust him as his father, you trust him as your partner. Okay. Trust will also include that when you talk something to him, he is not going to share your talk with anybody else, especially his parents, especially his mother. That's trust. Okay. So you got to, I'm giving you the example of the expectations that you need to build around certain areas. So one area is open communication. Second area is trust. Okay. Third area is respect. Now, respect is, what is the meaning of respect? Respect means that even if you do not agree on a certain point, there is total disagreement. You are not rejecting the other person's point of view. Respect means that even if you don't agree, you are still believing that whatever your husband is saying, that's worthy of consideration. Okay. Which happens on both sides actually. So let's take an example. You say that you need to have 2 helpers in your home, and your husband believes that only 1 helper is needed, 2 are not needed. Now, do not reject his proposal that only 1 is needed. Okay. It actually means both of you need to sit down to understand, if I am saying 2, what is my perspective? He will listen to your perspective when you give weightage to his perspective. That's called respect. At the end of the discussion, you may still not being agreeing to him, and that's perfectly okay. That's a different ball game. that when you're stuck in a gridlock, how do you resolve those issues? That's something we do in our program. We help you to resolve those issues. Leaving that aside for some time, respect means that you will honor the other person's point of view. Fourth could be compassion. Compassion means no matter what happens, no matter how much a fight or argument has happened, you are going to be concerned for each other. You're going to be taking care of each other. Okay. And last but not the least is love. How do you want to define love? I mean, love can be defined in numerous ways. How do you want to define love? So these are the five very crucial areas in which you need to build your marriage. These are the foundations on which your marriage is built. And these foundations also become your expectations. Okay. Now, out of these five, you need to pick top three for yourself. Now, I have defined in terms of communication, trust, respect, compassion, and love. For you, it could be compassion coming first. For you, it could be trust on the top priority. It doesn't matter. You got to be very clear that out of these five, what is your top priority? Which means, what are top three priorities for you? Okay. So for instance, your top priority is open communication. Your second priority is trust. Your third priority is respect. Put a full stop there. Okay. Now, any discussion, any problem, any situation which revolves around top three is worth fighting for. Okay. So suppose there is a situation which is a problematic situation. Both of you have been fighting. A lot of argument has been going on. Just check. Is that to do with transparency, which is open communication? Is that to do with trust? Is that to do with respect? If it falls in any of these three categories, you must fight for it. You must argue, and that's perfectly okay. There is a way to talk. There is a way to argue. It's a different matter. Okay. But that's something you can go ahead talking about that. Right? So you got to first clarify what are those parameters of your married life on which you will not compromise. And those are the, you can build all your expectations around those three parameters. So if it is open communication, you will build all the parameters around open communication. If it is trust, you build all the parameters around trust. Okay. And those are the things that if those three are satisfied, rest of the things in married life, you need not even bother. You need not even argue on those points. Okay. As long as those three are being met up with. So out of these three, you are got to select what are top three for you. Now the issue is this, and which is very, very important. You might say that I talk openly. My communication is fair. I express everything. I don't hide anything, but my husband does. You are likely to say that, correct? You might also say that I have always trusted him, but he didn't. Or you can say that he trusts me, but I can't, right? Similarly, you can say that you might have had those experiences where you say that I have always been respectful in my talks, but when he talks, it is very, very humiliating. Okay. Now, what happens is that, and I'm not pointing fingers at you. Okay. This is normally how it happens. That suppose, you're talking, okay, and you're opening your heart. There could be two things. One, you're opening your heart because there is an intention there. And what is that intention? That intention is, when I open my heart, he should also speak. So the intention is to get to know what's in his heart. Therefore, I am opening up. Okay. When that is the intention, then he catches it. His subconscious mind, he's not consciously aware, but his unconscious mind, his subconscious mind is going to catch that intention. And when he catches that intention, he's not going to open up. Okay. Second thing is, when you are opening up, when you talk, somewhere again in your subconscious mind also, you're trying to test that if I open up, does he open up or not? So in case of second scenario where you're trying to test him, then also vibrational he is able to catch and he will not open up. Okay. Similarly, in case of trust, when you are saying something to him, there could be a possibility of a doubt that if I am telling him this, I hope he doesn't go and tell his mother. This thought, even if it has crossed your mind once, I just hope he doesn't go and tell his mother. That's a doubt. And if this doubt is there deep inside you, it is going to get reflected on the outside, because what I want you to remember is what is on the inside is going to get reflected on the outside, because the world is a mirror. Okay. And world is a mirror. So whatever you're experiencing on the outside, you have to believe that there is something inside which led to this. So if you had this question in your mind, I hope he doesn't tell his mother. Or, you've had this experience in your upbringing years that, you trusted somebody and your trust was betrayed, then it is going to get reflected in your relationship as well. Right? Similarly, when it comes to respect, if there is a doubt, or if you have been advising him, something that we discussed yesterday. So if you have been advising him too much, if you've been giving him suggestions, if you've been telling him, what are the right things to do, what is not right to do, now that we are married, go and tell your parents that, go and tell your mother that, we need our time and space. If this has been the experience with him, that respect factor is gone already from his head. So when he speaks with you, he's speaking from the place of being a rebel. So if you have been the person who has been advising him or telling him the do's and the don'ts of married life, or you've been complaining and criticizing and cribbing him, then he has felt that he has not got the respect in the relationship. Therefore, he gives it back to you. Okay. So what you need to remember is that when it comes to your expectations, whatever those expectations you might have got lined up, when it comes to those expectations, what is your intention? Are you testing him? Okay. Or is your intention to see that, okay, if I am opening up, let me see, I want to know how much he opens up. Okay. If these two things are prevalent, then no matter what you expect, how much you expect, it is not going to work for you. What is extremely, extremely important is when you have those expectations, you got to connect with him like a friend. So imagine that you have your friend circle, right? I'm sure there must be a very, very, close friend of yours, fast friend, best friend, with a girlfriend or boyfriend, it doesn't matter. Suppose a girlfriend, okay. When you go and speak with girlfriend, how do you speak? You are opening your heart out to her, not thinking in terms of whether she's going to open up or not. When you are opening your heart out to her, you're not thinking in terms of whether I can trust her or not. You're not thinking in terms of what if she goes and tells her mother? What if she goes and tells her husband? You're not thinking like that. When you are speaking with her, you are not, and when, in the scenarios where she has spoken with you, even if she has gone wrong, you don't advise, you don't give any suggestion, you just listen to her, right? So speak to him, connect with him, just like you're connecting with a friend, without any negative intention, without any intention in your mind, without any testing thought in your mind. When you're eh, you know operating from that place of a friend, not husband, not partner, just a friend, there is a complete shift in your vibrations. There is a complete shift in your internal energy. Okay. And when that shifts inside of you, he's the one who catches it. Then he catches that selfless, unconditional bond which he experiences from your side. That is the time he will start to live up to your expectations. So when your expectation at that time is just open communication, heart to heart, without tests, without seeing if he's also going to open up, without wanting to dig in into information, then he will also. Trust will develop. And the moment trust develops, he will start to trust you, and he will not, share any information with anybody whatsoever. Okay. So this is something that you need to be taking care of. Now, what also happens is that you might have had those experiences where you kept on opening up and he didn't. So you felt hurt. You kept on trusting him. Your trust got betrayed. So you're again wounded. You are humiliated. Okay. I'm taking only 3 parameters as of now. You have been respectful to him. You thought you've been respectful to him, but to him, he didn't feel that he was respected enough. Okay. So you again felt that you are not deserving of any kind of a respect or attention or love. So you're deeply wounded. Correct. When you're coming from the place of a broken heart, a wounded heart, and then you work on your expectations, and then you expect him to fulfill your expectations, then you expect that, all right, I am going to argue around these top 3 expectations that I have defined for myself. Nothing is going to work. The only thing that is going to work is work first on those uh, wounds of yours. Those need to be healed first. And then at the second level, you need to work on top 3 expectations. All right. Now, how do you work on those wounds is something that I am going to be taking up in tomorrow's session. But for now, what I want you to do is I'm repeating those 5 most important aspects of married life, the most important expectations you can build in married life. And you choose what are the top 3 for yourself. Write in the comment box, what are those top 3 expectations for yourself? So one is, and what I'm giving you is not on priority. Priority is something you will decide. So open communication, trust, respect, compassion, love. So when you're writing this, you also need to brainstorm a lot. Suppose you write love as the topmost expectation. So ask yourself, if topmost expectation is love, are you willing to be loved at the cost of being disrespected? Right? If the answer is no, then love comes 1 step down, respect comes up. Okay. Then ask yourself, uh, is respect more important than trust? Which means uh, we can respect each other, but I still can't trust him. Do you want that? So therefore, that is how you will start to question yourself and uh, build your top three expectations accordingly. Okay, build those three expectations. What are your top three expectations? And just put those three expectations in the comment box, right? And tomorrow I'll tell you, how do you manage those hurts which you have uh, got in uh, in the process, in the journey of your relationship with your husband, when you were trying to be open, transparent, when you were trying to be respectful, when you were trying to be compassionate, when you wanted to express your love. In each of those areas, you've got hurt. So tomorrow I'm going to be telling you what is it that you need to do so that you can heal yourself. And healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey which will for you begin from tomorrow. Okay. Now, when you assume that when you heal yourself and your expectations are in place, okay, and you're connecting as if you're connecting or you're talking with a friend of yours, do you think it's not going to have an impact on him? It is definitely going to have an impact on him, and he will also start to bring about that change in himself without you having to change him. And yesterday we were talking about how will my husband change. So this is how, when you start to work on yourself, starting from your hurts and then building up expectations, and then not complaining and not criticizing and not cribbing and not advising, it is going to have that cumulative effect on him. And he will also start to operate from a different space, which is about bringing about change in him. So by those small shifts inside you, which are very, very deep, you are able to bring about a change in him as well. Okay. So that's from me to you today with regards to what expectations to build from him and how to have those expectations met. And I will see you tomorrow with on how to heal yourself. Okay, tomorrow's topic very specifically is going to be how to manage your emotional pain to create that happiness in your married life. So far, let me know if you have any questions. Please write your questions in the chat box. I will be taking up your questions right away. Please feel free to write those questions. Um, I'm waiting for your questions. There is a little time lag, so by the time you write your questions, it takes about 5 to 10 seconds for me to receive them. So whatever questions you have in your mind, please feel free to write your questions right now. Yes, please, questions. If you have questions, could you please be writing your questions? Okay, let me say hello here so that you know how this will appear. Yeah, if you have any questions, please put them up. Okay, if you don't have any questions, no worries. So then, do I have your permission to end the session here in case you don't have any questions? So if I have your permission to end the session, please write yes, you can end the session. Write that so that I can know that if you don't have any questions, then we can end the stream here. Okay, no worries. So I will see you tomorrow, and this is going to be available for your recording. It will go to your inbox. So should you want to connect again, go back to the recording, and still, if you have any questions, this will also be available on YouTube. You could be putting your questions in the comment box there, and I will personally answer those questions. Thank you so much. You take care, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m., with how to heal your emotional pain. Take care and bye.